Soaking your hands and feet with EDTA. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. This is going to be a two-part video course, and it's basically about soaking your hands and feet with EDTA. Now, we've done lots of videos before on how to soak your hands and feet with the skin cleaning solution and other compounds that we add to that, but this is specifically to see if we can remove some of the grease and the grime and the mold, maybe some of the scale that are on the bottom of your feet. A lot of people have athlete's foot on the bottom, big calluses, toe fungus. Now, remember, the reason why we're going to use EDTA, if you haven't seen our other videos, you may want to go ahead and watch the videos that we have on skin cleaning just to start. And then when you start getting in deeper into the videos, you start to find out that there's other things to be able to detox the skin and also rejuvenate it. But the thing I want you to go ahead and really understand is that soaking your feet, okay, takes some simple engineering. Is because why are you soaking your hands and feet is the question. Why? Is because your hands and your feet, remember, are the ending point where your blood turns around. And a lot of heavy metals, plastics, petroleum from different shoes that you're wearing, from stepping on the ground, walking on tar, anything that you could imagine that would soak into your feet. Okay, these things need to be detoxed because your hands and your feet, remember, like I said, let's give you a little mosquito there. Okay, let's give you a quick understanding here. Your heart, remember, pumps out blood with the biggest plumbing that you have, and that's the aorta. Now it starts to go down into the extremities, and we call those arteries, right? Bigger to smaller, okay? Then it goes into arterioles, from arteries to arterioles, and then it turns around in the hands and the feet and goes into the capillaries. And the capillaries are like this small little tube, and one red blood cell at a time can only go ahead and fit through, okay, at a time. So your hands and your feet basically dictate your flow that you have. And your flow in your hands, okay, is very important if you want to go ahead and actually stay, vital. Your hands and your feet, remember, get clogged up with plastic, heavy metals, all different types of chemicals, toxins. So I made some notes here, but I want you to go ahead and understand, guys, cleaning your hands and your feet, that can be done with the other cleaning solutions that we use to be able to clean the skin and so forth, but this is to be able to see if we can start to break down these things. And these are oxalates. And you can see these oxalates, okay, this is a crystal, but these are like a magnified of what you would think of if you looked at these crystals in your body, in your joints, in your muscles, okay, in your organs, in your tissues. These are what they look like. So what we're going to do with the EDTA does have an affinity to break down crystals. Now you want to watch our other videos that we have on EDTA. We have What is EDTA? And this is so you could go ahead and learn on just a little bit about this synthetic amino acid, which has had thousands and thousands of clinical studies in all different ways to be able to, see if we can chelate out, claw out, and I go into it on that video pretty deep there. So what is EDTA? How to make EDTA skin cream for removal of heavy metals. Okay, that's another good video for you to catch up on. Also, the third EDTA video course is the EDTA ENEMA. Again, for removal of heavy metals, chemicals, and different things, and not removal, but basically to support some of these different things that basically compound in our system. And a lot of these, just to let you show, I brought over this crystal here, and you can see this crystal is a big quartz crystal. But imagine having these crystals, if this was magnified, of course, this is what these crystals look like in your shoulder. How about in your thyroid? 50% of the people, they say, over 50 years old, have calcification of these oxalates in their thyroid. So the oxalates, basically, they can form on the fingers, the knuckles, the hands, and this treatment does have it does support breaking down these parts of the body that is, accumulating in your joints, especially, remember, toxicity is accumulating in your hands, everything you touch, all the soaps and detergents that you're using. So the EDTA, this is a very basic video, but very simple, meaning that it's very easy to do. And the substances that we're going to use, and we're going to do a part two. Part two, I'm going to show you the protocols, the practices and principles that, again, are too sensitive to show on YouTube. So we show them on our private channel with hundreds of other videos that we have to be able to show you what I've done to be able to combat a lot of the different things as far as what we call, well, disease. So these are just my perspectives, and there's a lot of different things that you can learn at Earther Academy. We're going to use EDTA in this blend here. We're going to use a 6% hydrogen peroxide here, food grade. We're going to use vodka, and this is a 6 times distilled vodka, as you can see from Costco. And you want to always do anything that you are going to use with what we're going to use here. You always want to do everything in glass. So we're going to use vodka, but not with the skin cleaning solution. What we're going to do is we're going to use because the skin cleaning solution, remember, has sodium bicarbonate, magnesium minerals. It has MSM, a lot of different things that we put into the skin cleaning solution. So we're going to use this solution dry because we're only going to want the hydrogen peroxide and the EDTA to go ahead and be in the solution together. Now, there is a lot of different protocols that we're going to do, not just soaking our feet. How much do you put into this stuff? But you need to get your feet ready so you can, well, start to absorb these things. So the EDTA, again, is our reason of doing this, is to be able to have this compound go inside our joints and our tissues and our feet and see if we can dislodge a lot of the heavy metals, plastics, or whatever EDTA can to loosen up. So now we have a variety of tools, and I'm going to show you again on part two, not only soaking the feet, but also trimming all the calluses off and making sure that basically what you're doing is you're trying to get your, let's see if we can bend this without, there we go. Okay, get a little better idea. This is a polisher for your nails, is because remember, this is for not only your feet but also taking off a lot of the different parasites and different fungi that live on your nails. This is also to be able to buff the nails. This is a sharp gouaching spoon, and we've got some different sanding discs here that you can see we're going to work. We have a cuticle cutter to go ahead and cut off all the dead skin, and I've got some nail clippers and a couple of different diamond files to be able to groom the feet. So now getting back real quick to the flow. Your body, remember, goes from arteries to arterioles to capillaries to venules, back to veins, and then it goes back into the heart and pumps around again. Arteries, arterioles, smaller and smaller until it gets to the capillary. So part of the theme here is to be able to open up all these different different areas of the hands and feet, and so we're going to put in different types of protocols also, different things like massage. So we'll get started on part two, but this specific course is to be able to see if we can dissolve the oxalates that form into the joints, because you're going to want to do, we're going to go into this on part two, you're going to want to do an examination of your foot. I'll show you how to do an examination. You're going to check the range of motion of your toes, your fingers, your ankles. We're going to use certain types of containers, okay? Glass containers. We're not going to use plastic, not with EDTA, okay? We're also going to use some 5% iodine. We've got some turpentine here, pine oil. I've also got some DMSO. You can see these are some protocols here. We also have some magnesium chloride, and we've got 2 oils, coconut oil and castor bean oil. So this is for relubrication. Okay, so I think we're pretty good there. So this is what we're going to do on part two. We're going to to soak the feet, and then I'm going to go through how I give myself a pedicure, and it's actually to remove as much of the toxicity as we can. Oh, left my camera down. To lose as much toxicity as we can, okay? And you're going to see in the liquid how much stuff comes off of my feet. And I scrub my feet in the shower every day. Okay, I walk around here with bare feet. I use a lot of the flip-flops, okay? All these rubber shoes. Remember, all the shoes have phthalates in them. They have glues. Phthalates are different types of endocrine disruptors. Our feet, especially, besides our hands, but our feet definitely are very toxic. A lot of people, you'll find out, they have different types of, like I said, skin issues on their feet. All these different calluses and different pieces. And so the EDTA is just another sort of, you can say, weapon in our tool bag, our arsenal of things that we could do to try to maybe, well, regain back some of the youthfulness of feet. You can always tell somebody that's older because their hands and their feet look old. If you've got toe fungus, guys, you've got a problem. And if you've got athlete's foot, you've got a problem. And that means that most likely in the future, you're going to wind up having more different types of immune sicknesses, is because your toenail, if it's got fungus, you got problems. It's, to me, I see a lot of people with toe fungus in their 20s. And I see a lot of elderly people with very stiff joints and nodules, okay, these crystals that form on the nodules, okay, of the joints, making the joints stiff, making, well, the joints not only stiff, but they're weak. You can't grab things. You can't walk on your feet, okay, without your feet getting sore. So think of all the different types of clothes, you know, that you put on your body, right? That's fine. But what about, you know, your shoes? Do you think about how much toxicity is in your shoes? You buy your shoes brand new, you put them on, you don't even wash them, and you've got yourself a loaded full of not new car smell, but new shoe smell. And that new shoe smell smells, well, like chemicals to me. Before, it used to just tell me my shoes were new. So the reason being why we're going to do this, remember, this is a protocol for you to be able to learn how to use some, what I call chelators, and also to be able to use some different types of products. Okay, this is pine oil, DMSO, iodine, to be able to see if you can soften up some of these joints, if you could make them so they're more pliable again. So I'm just going to show you, like I said, on part 2, I'm going to show you an easy way for you to be able to, while you're watching television, whatever it is, you're going to put your feet in these, well, these glass containers here, and you're going to soak them for a good 45 minutes to an hour. And that's when the fun starts, is because now you can start to feel the grime that comes off of your feet, because the EDTA and the hydrogen peroxide and the alcohol is pretty magical. So if you haven't seen, like I said, our other videos when it comes to just doing the hands and foot soak the normal way without the EDTA, watch the videos that we have on that. This is, again, to be used, okay, after you've done the regular foot soak several times. This foot soak can make your feet sore, is because you're dissolving up a lot of stuff, so you're going to have to massage your feet a lot. This therapy also, from doing this, you'll notice that sometimes your skin is going to feel like it's like peeling off. Okay, it's just like scraping off, so scrape it off. This is all dead skin, because it's going to make your feet feel like they're 10 years younger. And also, like I said, your feet, remember, are what not only turn your blood around, but they let you so you could walk, you know, to maybe next door instead of take your car. So once you start doing these protocols, it's a must for you to really, because you're going to start breaking up a lot of different calcifications in there. It's a must for you to take your feet, and I'll show you as we do the video, and really break down the tissue in here, is because it's not going to break down by itself as easy as you think. Remember, it's taken many years for your tissues to be able to get these types of crystals on them. Okay, let's start part 2. I think we've got everything. Let me just go over my notes one more time here. Remember, you got lots of fire retardants you're walking around on your house, let's say. Fire retardants. You're walking on carpets. What do you think your feet do? Okay, you wind up getting fungus between your toes. Your nails start to turn dark. Okay, you start to get yellow toenails. And I see a lot of people with very elevated or swollen joints. Like I said, this crystal is, if it's magnified, is inside your knuckles. And if this is in there, you can see how your knuckles are bigger, not only bigger, but they're sore. And I see a lot of people my age. I'm almost 60 years old. And I see a lot of people with hands that look like they're 90 years old, and they're about 60 years old. So your hands and your feet, if they're looking old, okay, you've got scale on them, if they got a lot of wrinkles on them, a lot of age spots on them, okay, you've got problems in your, what you can call your flow. Okay, remember, your hands and your feet control your flow. Okay, let's start part 2. And again, this is a therapy that is very necessary for people not to just do this once. You're going to do this maybe once every 2 weeks as I show you how to do this, okay? And you're going to do it a little bit different each time. Not really different each time, but you're going to go ahead and change the concentrations. Okay, guys, we'll see you on part 2.